Are you wondering what to eat before and after workout? Well, science has a very simple answer. And I'm sure that most of you have already seen many videos and got many advices from YouTube. And for most of you, those advices can be right. But the problem is that the scientific advice on this issue focuses mainly on strength gain and muscle gain, but not necessarily staying lean at the same time. Now, this is considered a bulking cycle. Now, in this video, I will tell you what the scientific answer to this question is in the first part, but then in the second part, I'm going to focus on the best food before and after your workout if you want to grow muscles and stay lean at the same time. I'm Dr. Nash Jocic, bodybuilding champion. I competed 46 times. I won 17 titles, and I'm also public speaker and author. I published 9 books that you can find on my website. You have the link in the comments, so you can download these ebooks straight from my website by clicking the link. My books are full of detailed explanation regarding all these subjects that you are after: muscle growth, fat loss, competitive bodybuilding, training for beginners, lifestyle change, and similar subjects. So guys, help yourself. Now, let's talk about what to eat before a workout. Now, scientific advice is always politically correct, meaning that everything that most of us know is going to be there, and it will please most of us. So science suggests that before workout, you should eat certain amount of protein and also carbohydrates in order to fuel your muscles and provide a lot of energy necessary for high-intensity workout. So the advice is usually to eat something like chicken and rice, or maybe oats with whey protein, or maybe banana with protein shake, whey protein shake again, maybe some rice cake with turkey. So basically the combination of protein and carbs before workout. That should happen anywhere between 1 hour to 2 hours before your workout. And the goal for this strategy is to maximize energy, protect muscle tissue, and also prevent fatigue. Most of you have been doing that, and it's probably working for most of you. Now, scientific advice regarding the meal after a workout is again based on the principles of replenishing glycogen stores as quickly as possible. So some amount of protein and carbohydrates again is what has been advised, and most of the people are doing that. And meals like, for example, chicken and rice again, or for example, banana and whey protein shake, maybe eggs with oats and similar. So basically, it should be anywhere from 40 to 50 grams of protein and maybe up to 100 grams of carbs after your workout. So the goal regarding this strategy is to rebuild muscles, refill quickly energy stores, and obviously support your long-term progress. Most of you have done this. Most of you know this story. It's fine for many people, but not necessarily for everyone. Now, important thing that I want to mention in this first part is also that training myth that has been busted scientifically again, that you have to eat quickly within 30 minutes after your workout, because this is when the window of opportunity, so-called, is open. And if you stuff yourself with protein and carbs within 30 minutes after you have finished your workout, you will allow the body to fully replenish glycogen stores and digest protein and put everything back into the muscle cells, etc. But this is not true, and it's very important to remember this, that window of opportunity, basically the ability of the body to absorb more than usual amount of carbohydrates and protein lasts up to 2 hours. And this is something that you should remember, because it's very important for the second part of the video, which follows now. Now, in this second part, I want to talk to you about what to eat before and after your workout if you want to build muscle but also stay lean. I have been doing this for most of my life, and I managed to stay in very good shape year round because I'm applying these principles to myself, and not only to myself but also to my clients, especially more advanced clients. And as you can see on these images that have been taken, the first one has been taken 5-6 months ago while I was driving. My son was there, and he said, "Dad, I have to do the photo, wait a little bit." So I stopped the car, so he filmed my legs. And it's good that he's done that, because, I'm not doing any shows anymore. I'm not preparing for anything, for any holidays or weddings or celebrations or whatever. I'm always trying to stay in shape because it's very good for you to stay in shape. It's very healthy, and also I like to be in shape because it's really good looking to be in good shape. And the second image has been taken on the 10th of June, a few days ago, after my leg workout. So you can see more or less the same shape of my legs. And, legs are not really easy to keep in shape. But the reason why they're in shape, and why are people always thinking that I'm just about to get, in a couple of weeks on the stage or something, the main reason is actually that I am following these principles, and I apply my diet that I'm advising to you, to myself first of all, and then to people that I train and I advise. And it's absolutely perfect, and it works. So what is the strategy in this scenario if you want to grow your muscles but stay lean year round? What happens to meal before the workout and the meal after the workout? So before I get into that direct answer, this is what you should eat before and this is what you should eat after, I want to explain to you something that I hope you know, maybe don't, but let's make sure that we mention this. And this is what happens after you eat carbohydrates in the meal. And especially if you eat a little bit more carbohydrates, for example, 50, 60, 100 grams per meal before your workout. So what happens then? What happens generally when you eat carbs? So when you eat carbs, most of you have realized that actually after eating a high carb meal, you feel a bit sluggish, you are foggy, you want to rest, you are not really feeling, ready to go and perform high intensity workouts or go and do sprints or something. No, you want to just calm down, relax, and maybe have a nap as well. Now the reasons for that are few. Number one reason is that after your glucose levels have peaked, they are going to drop down. And when they drop down, this is exactly what you're going to experience. You're going to experience lack of energy. You're going to experience dizziness. Some people will start shaking. They will need extra carbs, which most of the people who are hooked on carbs are doing all the time. And this glucose crash, because of sudden insulin spike, is causing all these physiological conditions which are actually not good before your workout. Now, not only insulin, but there are other hormones involved. Carbohydrates, for example, increase tryptophan, which is amino acids that is precursor to serotonin. And serotonin easily converts to melatonin, which is the sleep hormone. So this is why you have probably experienced many times that if you eat carbs in the last meal of the day, you're going to sleep, you're going to be relaxed and you're going to fall asleep quickly, etc. This is the if you want to be sluggish, if you want to be dizzy, if you want to be in this sleeping mode, then eat carbs before your workout, or eat a lot of carbs before your workout. So this is what is going to happen. Now, what happens if you eat protein, mainly meal before your workouts, let's say a couple of hours, or hour and a half, high protein meal with some fat? So what is going to happen then? Well, exactly the opposite will happen, because you will experience mental clarity, stable energy, reduced fatigue. And this is why when people eat, for example, eggs and salmon or cottage cheese in the morning, they feel fantastic for hours, because their energy levels are stable, because insulin is constantly leveled. There are no spikes of insulin, and your glucose level is always constant. So if you eat a high protein meal with a bit of fat, medium amount of fat, you will experience all these positive states that will actually make you alert, that will make you eager to perform. There is not going to be insulin spikes and glucose crash, so you're not going to experience any of those adverse effects, as I mentioned in the first case. And also, protein boosts alertness, because protein increases dopamine and norepinephrine. So these hormones basically help you have better focus, wakefulness, and better motivation. And this is what you want to have before your workout. I remember training with Patrick Nichols in the days, and he would say, no, Nash, before training we should eat eggs, you need protein and fat. And not just that, but I know people who would eat protein, and if it's just chicken, they would have maybe a couple of teaspoons of coconut oil in the meal before workout, for the same particular reasons, to keep that energy steady, to keep insulin level steady and glucose constant. So no spikes, no crashes, no dizziness, sluggishness, drowsiness, but rather alertness, eagerness to perform. There is another thing which is very important to mention in this part, and this is growth hormone release. So after your workout, you actually produce a lot of growth hormone, which peaks in about 30 minutes after you have finished your workout, and then remains in your body up to 2 hours. Now, how long will growth hormone remain in your body and how much you will produce obviously depends on the type of training. More intense workout, more higher growth hormone production. Also, a shorter rest between the sets, higher growth hormone production. More sets and more reps, higher growth hormone production. And growth hormone is extremely powerful muscle building hormone and the most powerful fat burning hormone. So you want to have that growth hormone in your body after your workout. You don't want to spoil it. You don't want to decrease growth hormone presence by any means. Now, what happens if you rush into that so-called 30 minutes window, as a lot of people are doing it? You're going to stuff yourself with chicken and rice, or some people are eating some fast carbs in order to replenish their glycogen quickly, some sugars even, and Choco Pops and cereals, sugary ones. You are going to blunt your growth hormone immediately. So within 30 minutes, it's going to just go down because insulin will come up. So you are losing an opportunity to burn fat because of presence of growth hormone in your body, because you believe in that mantra that you have to eat immediately after your workout in order to replenish your glycogen stores, because this is detrimental if you don't do it. Absolutely wrong. I don't know if you know, but in 70s and 80s especially, bodybuilders didn't eat an hour after a workout. They didn't know what we know now, but instinctively they experienced faster fat burn, and if they don't eat for an hour. They didn't eat much carbs anyway, and the result is actually something that you cannot see anymore on the professional bodybuilding stage. People are bloated, people are full of water retention, even top professionals on Arnold Classic and on Mr. Olympia, they are not as good as they were in 70s and 80s. People were shredded in the past. The reason for that is this fascination with carbohydrates and stuffing yourself immediately after the workout. Now, what should you do? What should you do after everything I've just said? So what would be the best way to eat before and after your workout if you want to build muscle still, of course, and burn fat at the same time? Now, in that case, you should eat protein, and high protein, medium fat meal some hour and a half, 2 hours before your workout for the reasons that I have mentioned, in order to keep alertness and stimulate hormones, which actually epinephrine, for example, which is critical for, action. This meal should be anywhere from 60, 70, 80 grams of protein, maybe 30, 40, 50 grams of fat, depending on the size and experience. And after your workout, you should wait. You should wait for an hour. You should not eat anything. Wait and then have high protein, low fat, and maybe medium carbohydrate meal. Maybe hour after you have finished, or maybe hour and a half, because your growth hormone is still within. It's true that growth hormone will peak within 30 minutes and then it's going to start leveling down. But I would advise you not to eat anything within an hour after your workout. And this is exactly what I do. So I would have my high protein meal after a workout. And sometimes I have protein and carbs. I don't have protein and carbs every single time because I don't find it necessary. Because glycogen stores, you have to understand that you don't have to eat 100, 150 grams, 200 grams of carbs, as some people advise, after your workout, because you didn't even burn that amount of glycogen. You have probably burned 30, 40 grams of glycogen. So this is how much carbs you need, and not necessarily just carbs. If you have high protein meal, a good portion of that protein will turn via gluconeogenesis into glucose and will replenish your glycogen. And this is why people who have trained on a high protein, medium fat, low carb diets have trained perfectly fine. There was no problem. Arnold used to train twice per day on that type of diet. Twice per day, doing 20, 30 sets per session. So obviously he needed some glycogen for that. And now most of the people are doing 10, 15 sets, training 4 times per week, burning very little glycogen with that type of workout. But they stuff themselves with so much carbs that obviously spill over into fat stores. And this is why in the gyms today, all across the globe, you will see mainly fat guys with big muscles, but not big and lean. Big and lean are rare. You will see very few big guys who are muscular year-round and lean year-round. Not necessarily shredded, but lean. Maybe with some 12, 13, 10% of body fat, but nothing less than that. But they still look great. Unfortunately, most of the guys who are involved in bodybuilding, amateurs, intermediates, maybe some professionals, really get fat in the off-season. First of all, this is not healthy. And second, it will create a lot of issues and a lot of problems once you decide to get in shape. So I think that I have delivered a message to you. And just to recap, if you want to stay lean and build muscle throughout the year, be careful what you eat before and after your workout. Not necessarily you always have to eat a medium protein, high carb, low fat meal before, and then a medium protein, high carb meal, low fat after your workout. If you want to stay in shape constantly, I have explained to you that the meals which are high in protein, medium fat, low carb or no carb, hour and a half, 2 hours before your workout will will give you steady energy, will make you alert, will make you eager to work out, to train. After the workout, I advise you to eat 1 hour after you finish protein, high protein, maybe medium carbohydrates, or maybe not carbohydrates, depending on your goals, depending on your experience, depending on your diet. But you have to be careful not to eating too much carbs before your workout is not necessary, and it's just going to make you sluggish and drowsy. After the workout, wait 1 hour and then eat high protein and medium carb. Don't eat more than 50, 60 grams of carbs because you didn't burn that amount of glycogen during your workout. So this is for people who want to stay in good shape year-round and build muscle. For the ones who don't care about staying lean, but just care about getting bigger and stronger, well, then go back to the first part of my video in which I have explained to you what science says and what most of the experts say on YouTube, and then revert back to your high carb, medium protein meal before and high carb, medium protein meal after your workout. You will reach your goals, you will get stronger, you will get bigger, but not necessarily leaner, and you may end up as well getting a lot of water retention and a lot of fat. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe to my channel. If you didn't, like the video and send me your comments. And again, I would remind you that for all those people who want to expand their knowledge and their horizons, I have 9 ebooks on my website. You have the link in the comments. My ebooks are there for you to help you understand nutrition, biochemistry, to help you understand physiology, anatomy, and therefore workouts, because training is not dictated by anybody, it's dictated by our anatomy and our physiology and our biomechanics. So I know there are many of those who are claiming that they have discovered some extraordinary training systems, etc. But this is not the case. Once you learn your anatomy, once you learn your physiology and biomechanics, you will be clearly very much qualified to decide about the best possible training system for yourself. So I hope again that you have enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, take care of yourselves and best wishes.